Hey everybody, it's Squirrel TV episode. We've gotten to a second hand, episode 6. Thank you for joining Squirrel TV 1020. I am your host, as always, Squirrel, and we have a jam-packed show. I've waited a few days because we have some hot topic to talk about, and I wanted to make sure I got the people's opinion. I even snuck in on some conversations, and we're going to find out about what this hot topic is in a moment. Again, as always, thank you to Public Domain for playing some good old-time theme music for us there. Thank you, boys. And we're going to go to our next song in a little bit here, but thank you again for Squirrel TV, and we got some listener comments and some opinions on a hot topic based on our previous episode. That'll be episode 4. Now, episode 5 was our July 4th special, so check that out. It was a very short video, just a little trivia there. But episode 4, we had a hot topic about Oreos and the proper way to eat Oreos. I hope that you were able to watch that. If you were, you're welcome. And if you weren't, or if you need to watch it again, make sure you have your cookies and milk ready for that. Now, as promised in previous episodes here on Squirrel TV 1020, we do have some sponsors. As always, we have our number one sponsor, Bernard's Dehydrated Water. Spring water without all the wetness, gluten-free. But I am proud to announce we have a new sponsor from Radiant Farms. You've never heard it before? You've never seen it? It is all the way from Scotland. Yes, Scotland. That's what we talk there. No. Okay. Oh, you're going to love this. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Let me get all the good juicy details here. We have from Radiant Farms all the way from Scotland, dragon meat. That's right, Radiant dragon meat. Let me tell you a little bit about dragon meat here. From Scotland, freshly slayed, 100% organic, free range, cage-free dragon meat. Let me tell you their company statement. At Radiant Farms, we go the extra mile to bring you the freshest and most dangerous cuts of meat on the planet. I don't know what accent that is, but it works for me. Did we use a virgin to lure the dragon out of hiding, or a team of knights to slay it? Sorry, trade secret, but we guarantee this is love in every chunky bite. Love from your friends at Radiant Farms. That's dragon meat, made from the makers of our other product coming up, unicorn meat. I told you, we only have the most unique products here. And again, unicorn meat, we're going to talk about that another time, but it's magic in every bite, an excellent source of sparkles. Woo-hoo! And in future episodes, we'll talk about more about the dragon meat and unicorn meat. So if you have any questions, I got lots of info, so we're going to be getting into more things about that. But again, right now, we have the hot topic. Now, first of all, I want to talk about, thank you for our new likes. I think we're almost over 40 likes, and that's good. We like that. Now, we have a comment here from the World Wide Web, that's what it is. Daria from Wonderland. Probably up north, I don't know. Daria writes, I really enjoyed your show, and thank you for teaching on how to eat Oreos. You had me laughing. You are just too cute. Now see that, Daria, that kind of talk is going to get you VIP status at Squirrel TV 1020. Now I know what you're just thinking, audience. VIP status? Well, how do I get VIP status? Well, first of all, nice comments. And we'll get to that on a future episode there. But now, the hot topic that is sweeping the internet nation. It came from a young lady in the Pennsylvania area. Well, she wrote me a letter. She sent me a message. And it's an emotional topic. And I'm going to try to tone it down now. Give it the respect that it deserves. And well, we're just going to get right to it. And I think we need some appropriate music to kind of set the tone for what we're talking about here. So, if you could, boys, do that for me. Thank you. This is from Catherine McGillicuddy Jones, writing from Pennsylvania. Catherine writes, "Hi, Squirrel. This is Catherine McGillicuddy Jones, writing from Pennsylvania. Your episode featuring the proper way to eat an Oreo sparked a cookie question in my mind, and I'm hoping you can help. At what point are homemade chocolate chip cookies too old to serve to guests? A recent visitor to my house expressed shock, and yes, even outrage, at my reluctance to serve him day-old cookies. Now, my argument for this was that I want to serve the best to my guests, and day-old cookies just aren't satisfactory. He did not agree. I still didn't serve the cookies. Please, Squirrel, would you help a girl out with some advice in this matter? Are day-old cookies good enough to serve to guests, even ones with terrible tempers? Hey, what's your 20? Well, Catherine, thank you for your letter. And here's your song and dedication. Oh, wrong show. Reach for the stars. As you can see, listeners, this is a very important topic. It swept the nation. So again, I'm going to go over to Roxy, the computer here. I'm just going to, I posted a question here. Hey, everybody, Squirrel with an important question on a serious topic, and I posted that question. Are day-old cookies acceptable to guests? Now, there was a bit of a misunderstanding about some things. It was not whether or not the guests should feel offended that they were served day-old cookies, homemade bake. I think we have a universal understanding that if you are a guest, you be grateful for anything you get. Day-old cookies, 3-day-old cookies, Oreo cookies, whatever cookies. You don't say no to cookies, especially homemade baked cookies. See, the topic was actually about from the baker's point of view. Now, Lord, bless the bakers. We love bakers. People who just make from scratch, from their heart and their love, about homemade baking cookies. But what about the baker who loves and has such a high standard that she or he, let's not be humanistic now, will only serve to her or his guests fresh, same-day baked cookies. And if it's the next day, will not serve them because they are not good enough in their eyes. What say you people? Now, there were many that had opinions here. Now, first, I'm just going to read Roxy. I'm just going to read right off here, word for word. I don't want to misquote anyone. There was a Josh. He wrote, my opinion, the kinds of people who don't eat all their cookies in one day are the kinds of people who don't deserve company. That's an interesting topic. How in the world do you have cookies? They're so delicious, so yummy, so freshly home-baked, last more than a day. What is going on? How did that happen? But I digress. Josh continues. Now, with something like day-old bagels, then no. Even if they are homemade. Really, the only time you can serve day-old is at a cannibal wedding reception. I've never been to a cannibal wedding reception, so I'm not really sure. I figure the mortis rigor would stick in. I don't know about that one. But again, and also there was a mark. It reminded him for snack time. So hey, anytime we can incorporate snacks, that's good. But now we also had some hot topics. Hot topics on Facebook about this very debate. There was a Tim from south of the Carolinas, perhaps maybe even Florida. I'm not really sure. He also wanted to chime in on this question. He said, well, he agrees that fresh out of the oven, same day, is by far the best way to serve anyone cookies. If the baker is worth their weight in flour and knows how to properly store their cookies, then day-old cookies will be just as good and totally acceptable. You have shown love to your guests by hand-making cookies for them. That love does not expire at the rising of the sun. Hey, what's your 20? Again, Tim, those are excellent points. about storage of cookies if you're not going to eat all the cookies. But what about the heart? What about the desire? What if there's just a standard of the baker who loves their craft so well that for them it's just not good enough? I told you this is a serious topic. Now, there were some responses here. Some of it got a little heated. I won't share the heated ones. But again, there are those who say, people have cookies for more than one day. Seriously, though? That's from Hattie. Those are Renea. Perfectly acceptable to serve. William. Any old cookie sounds good to me. Nothing wrong with that. There's a Brandy. There was a time in history where this would have been frowned upon, but things, including some forms of etiquette, change over the course of history, and thank God for that. There was a Jack talking about your cookies, Timmy, never get old. There was a Latrice. Day-old cookies or old cookies. It's not like a good cookie would ever lose its cookiness. Cookiness. I need more details. Were the cookies served to someone else and then repackaged? Too many variables for me to be definitive. Again, these are freshly baked cookies, homemade, from scratch, not served to anyone else. And it was the next day. And then guests come. And now these guests hear about these cookies. And supposedly this guest with a bad temper said, it's perfectly okay. Give me some cookies. And the baker said, the host, I cannot, in good conscience, serve these cookies. And she did it. I should have warned you this was a very special episode of Squirrel TV 1020. Homemade baked cookies not served to guests because they're a day old. Instead, they were shipped off to the baker's husband and his co-workers. They were good enough for them, but not for guests. Barbara writes, guests deserve your best, so the cookies would have to be right out of the oven warm like you served me, your loving auntie. Barbara's on that side. Only the best, fresh and warm. Now, we are not debating that fresh out of the oven cookies are delicious. And the best. That's not in debate. Just saying. Juliet says, it is acceptable to serve them day after. They're still fresher than preservative cookies. Now, the baker would agree with that. But again, Tina writes, nothing wrong with that at all. Pass the cookies and the milk. You need milk. Cookies without some sort of beverage. I can't do that. And again, I will end it with this here. Again, I want to remind you, there was a wise man here on this chat line, Thomas, said, I believe the area of debate is not on whether the guests should decide if day-old homemade baked cookies are acceptable. It is what is the opinion if you are the baker of said cookies and felt day-old baked cookies did not meet your own standard to serve to guests because of your own pride and love and care for the baking arts. Now, I will have a disclaimer. This is meant as a light-hearted, friendly debate. There's so many serious issues out there. The fact that it's being seriously debated all is actually meant in a tongue-in-cheek sort of way, but it's fun. I would say, don't tell the guests that you just baked cookies the other day and then not give them. Keep it a secret. And then just bake another batch that same day. See, what you don't know will not starve you. See, if, let's just say I came over to that baker's house, if I didn't know that there were fresh baked cookies made the day before, then I won't have any urges to miss them and not have them if I don't know they exist. And if there were fresh baked cookies on that same day, everyone wins. The same. I know it's a difficult topic, but I hope that we've reached some sort of a consensus here. Fresh baked cookies, good. Not serving baked cookies, sad. But again, cookies are cookies. And make sure that if you're going to eat your Oreos or any cookie, dunk it in milk. I also wanted to let you know that there is some good news. The Corky and Bob movie has a premiere date set September 28th, 2017. Way down in Kentucky. There'll be a Pennsylvania showing another time. When I find that out, I'll let you know. Also on SquirrelTV1020, there are some clips already of some scenes, including a fireworks expert, even though it was not really fireworks, but that's a teaser. Check out SquirrelTV1020. You'll see those videos of the October. And until then, I want to thank you again for joining me on this serious topic. Remember, Squirrel TV brought to you by Bernard Dehydrated Water and our new sponsor, Radiant Farms Dragon Meat, freshly slayed, and of course from the makers of Radiant Farms Unicorn Meat, all the sprinkles full of magic in every chunk you bite. Thank you so much for joining us on Squirrel TV. I'm Squirrel. This is episode 6. God bless. And as always, this is Squirrel. Over and out.